Hi, Dr. Marrah. Thank you for the question that you provided me. I'll just reiterate what you wrote. If you had a client who was unable to consent due to their age or mental incapacity, what steps would you take in order to ensure they understood the informed consent? So I have multiple resources that I kind of found that helped guide me towards an answer. The first one I'd like to present, I went to, obviously, I live in the state of New Jersey, so I went to our New Jersey consumeraffairs.gov on the rules and regulations. And when I went under minors, it provided me a section that stated that this this section shall not require a licensee to release to a minor's parents or guardians records or information relating to the minor's sexually transmitted disease, termination of pregnancy, or substance abuse, or any other information and I thought this was pretty interesting. It says, in the reasonable exercise of the licensee's professional judgment, may adversely affect the minor's health or welfare. I think this is very important when considering our client, especially because we could be working with different age groups, and definitely considering where they're at. And I think the main thing here that I've grasped is making sure everyone's educated on everything that's being provided to them, all the different avenues and opportunities, and like a little bit about ourselves so they know what we're there for as well, because especially when it coming to like the parents' children, they'll want to know why we're there, what we're providing for their child. So that is what I gained from the New Jersey laws and regulations. So then from there, I went to the ACA Code of Ethics in 2014, and I found the responsibility to clients when counseling minors or adult clients who lack the capacity to give voluntary informed consent. Counselors protect the confidentiality of information received in any medium in the counseling relationship as specified by state laws or federal laws, and applicable with ethical standards. And then for the fact of the release of confidential information, it says when counseling minor clients or adults, clients who lack the capability to give voluntary consent to release confidential information, counselors should seek permission from an appropriate third person to disclose the information. And all in all, what I gained from this mostly is that it's obviously in the best interest of the client. You're there to provide services for them, so you want to make sure that you do what's best for them overall. And I think, like I said, in New Jersey licensure website, when it mentioned New Jersey Consumers Affairs.gov, it mentioned the licensee's professional judgment. So really considering the multiple components of the family you're dealing with and their values and beliefs, along with the services you're providing, and making sure that you just educate them thoroughly on exactly what you're doing, and obviously getting the consent from the parties that you need to, or the third party if need be, for the adult client who lacks the capability to give voluntary consent, and making sure that that you explain to them and take the time so that they actually understand what you'll be providing for the clients. And then lastly, I actually found this was what I found really interesting on the ACA Code of Ethics website. Each year, people post essays, and the one I found was, it was called Minors' Rights to Confidentiality When Parents Want to Know, and it says an ethical scenario. So this is really good because it gave me insight as to exactly how the process probably should go, in cases where the parents might be interested in wondering what's going on, what services we're providing for their child and everything. So then I found the statement in particular that I found interesting, and this was, it was Brooks, Fiedler, Waddington, and Zink in 2013 who posted this article, or essay, I should say. And there's one area in particular I found pretty fascinating, is that it mentioned, and it used like a name for the counselor, so it was Consuela in this case. And it says the ACA advises Consuela to inform Doria's parents, the client Doria's parents, about the nature of counseling, the importance of confidentiality, and divulging from what is necessary and doing what is in the best interest of the client while working to establish a collaborative relationship among all parties. This actually is something I believe, because I currently work as a behavioral assistant, and when I go in to have the families, sign the needed documents to provide the services, that's the main thing, because I feel like a lot of times some people might go into a family's home and they might just, oh, here are these documents, I just need your signature, and they have so many people coming through and providing services they actually don't know what they're there for. And I feel like the best thing we can do is just educate them before we have them sign any documents, so they know like what their rights are and what services we are providing. I've had clients before, they're like, are you like from DCF, which is Department of, or DCPMP, sorry, we call it DCPMP here. And like they think we're from there, and then I have to specify, like, I'm from ADV Counseling Services and I'm a behavioral assistant, these are the services I provide, and I kind of give them a scenario, and each client's different, too, of like how we have to explain things and just making sure they understand what we're there to do and how we're there to help. But yeah, thank you again, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.